Hey, thanks for tuning in. This is a weekend review for the week ending 8/27/2021. Thanks for tuning in. We're looking at a chart of the SPY. Closing high on week. Oh, but the bearish divergences, I get it. I see them too. Price keeps going higher. You could call this a rising wedge. You could just call it an ascending channel. You really got to zoom out to the monthly to see what's going on. This is what's driving the bears nuts. Do you see this attack, this posture, this configuration? Way stronger than anything back here. Way stronger. Really akin to what happened here coming out of 2003. And look how long that lasted. 2003 to 2007. Oh, the big crash. There was a crash back then. Right? And this one might be something like this, where the PPO starts going sideways and just slowly marches higher, riding SMA 10. So this is pretty steep, I'm not going to lie, but this was pretty steep too. So that's where we are. The histogram is flattening out, so expect some pullback. The weekly PPO is, it's like right at zero. So there is no real momentum. Like back here, you could see the histogram showing you, even back here in November, January. Right now, it's all negative since May, right? There hasn't been a lot of momentum, but it doesn't matter. It's riding SMA 10. It's that simple. It's a trend. Learn to see the trends. They are in all these charts that we're going to look at. The Qs, bull trend, PPO cross, back moving, close at high on week, high on month, same PPO posture here, can go on a lot longer than you think. Weekly PPO, boom, daily breaking out. So this PPO divergence, that's gone. Approaching some supply here, but again, I would say the more pertinent problem, supply area would be this line here. So they can meander up and down, come back up, and the longer they take, the higher they can go. It's that simple, and they're going to drive everyone nuts along the way. Qs are still leading this market, as they always do. They are the strongest. SMH, you've got this balance area, this consolidation area. We broke out above that, so this is where I'm really looking up here, 300, something like that. But I do think we're in approaching one of these two trend lines, and taking some profit off the table is probably wise. Again, I scaled into my position here at the 40, at the 20, and the 100. I bought all three moving averages, so I've got a nice, the most that I bought, actually there were three equal positions. I think that's what it was. So the average is somewhere around the 40. We're looking at a sell somewhere up here around 270. Ultimately, 300 is going to be a huge number. Same divergences, but trend is your friend. Weekly PPO bullish cross incoming. 271.79, close 272.21. So close at above this high. That's as bullish as it gets. If we get continuation next week, then this bearish momentum will have exhausted, and you might even get a bullish cross. If that happens, this will accelerate to the upside, 308, pretty quick. And again, this is the strongest sector. In this sector, you have NVIDIA. It's just been an absolute tear. Buy every dip. If you're coming into this one late and you say, hey, how do I participate, right? How do I participate in this move? Well, I'd say it's getting a little late. However, the market symmetry I see is, price came up here 3 or 4 days straight. Now she's gone sideways for 1, 2, 3, and you might get one more move up like that. So how do you participate? Buy a pullback into the yellow line, EMA 5. If you're gifted with SMA 10, buy SMA 10. And then use those moving averages as your trailing stop. That simple. But here you go again, PPO going up. I mean, just buy the dip. Look at this thing. Look at this. Long consolidation, continuation. If this market symmetry is a thing, I mean, she could be going to 400, 500 again. So, the heavy hitters in SMH are ready to go. I mean, AMD's ready to go. We just got the buy signal at close here today. I mean, look at this green line, this blue line. Look at the trend. Look at the PPOs curling up. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Expect this to go make another higher high. And if not, if it makes a lower high, well, you learn something that way as well. But that being the case, I don't see why this is going to stop. These guys are one of the weaker ones in the ETF. But even the weaker ones in the ETF have had their PPO reset all the way back. I mean, this is a decent pullback. Pullback to 65, that's a strong buy. And again, there's enough within SMH to just play Soxel. Well, Soxel, guess what you got this week? The PPO bullish cross. And this looks like a big cup and handle. And if the symmetry on that is correct, look for something like that. Another look above and go, something symmetry like that. I mean, that's how I see this. That's how I look at this. Benefit of the doubt goes to the bulls. Look at the 40, on the weekly here. They accumulate at the 40. It's one of the best trades here. But if you look, TNA was, if you just sort my list by green or red, TNA was highest on the day, 8.5%, which is the triple leveraged IWM. And as you can see, SMA 40, same thing here as Soxel, right? Accumulation at the 40, ripped to new all-time highs. That's what I'm expecting here. We don't have the bullish cross yet, like you do have on Soxel. But when you get those signals, you have to sit back and enjoy the ride. Look at what happened when this signal came. 111. Look at where she is now, 146. Is TQQ probably going to top out soon? Yeah, at some point, but who knows where? I mean, isn't this a bearish divergence? Yeah, but all that meant was just buy these dips and be caution as you approach the previous all-time high. And if you'd taken that approach every time, right, use the moving averages, buy at the moving averages, get caution as you approach the previous all-time high, you'd be faring pretty well. And these ETFs are triple leverage, so they move very quick. You got to be careful with them, but yeah, I mean they're killing it. Some of the other sectors I'm looking at right now, I am definitely looking back at oil, right? I do like Exxon on the weekly. You can see the histogram starting to curl. We don't have the cross yet. The blue's nowhere near the red. It's still going down. All right, so there's more downward pressure. We're not ready yet. There's a gap here. But, these are some levels that you can set alerts in your system and see what you got. Another one I really like is NNDM. Weekly PPO, look at the histogram. You can see the momentum is waning. Captured EMA 5 this week. Has this nice bullish divergence in PPO. You do have the outside bullish reversal candle, capture of the 20, but has to get above the 40 to really get moving. And you look at the pockets all the way up here at 7. So it's great. They captured 539. They're working on 650. You got to get above 650, and they have to get out of this descending channel to get moving. Another one I like that's kind of in this small cap space, DNMR. Breakout. This PPO is screaming high. And this daily higher low pattern is insane, right? 1380, 1382, 1495. It's still intact from the low. So if you just took it one day at a time and said, I'm going to only exit if we close below the previous day low, you'd still be in this trade from the 1538 recapture. And I love the fact that she captured the 40 and is leaving into close. Love that setup. Now this is just one of the best setups I have. I can't tell you how textbook this is. You got your ABC, close below the 200, the 40. the divergence in momentum, even though price lower low, higher low momentum, then a higher high in momentum, even though price was lower, made a higher high. That was your clue that the bulls were coming back. So yeah, it's just like this type of posture I love. This balance area, this spacing, whatever you want to call it, and now we're looking above. So any pullback to 598 is definitely a buy. There's a gap down here too, even at 588. So PPO looks great on the daily. The weekly PPO reset to 0. Look at this posture go. I mean, this can sustain for quite a while, right? Something like this. When this PPO really gets going like that, you're going to move for a while. And this one's targeting 7,800. Close on the week 630. If you bottom tick this week, you're at 600, targeting 800. That's not a bad swing trade for the end of the year. There's plenty of opportunities everywhere if you just know where to look, or if you have a system that will help you generate trading ideas. So this one I like a lot. ADSK, horrible reaction to earnings, but still looks like a big cup and handle. Recaptured the 40, or flirting with recapturing the 40. Insane volume. So this is definitely of note. Bearish reversal, but found demand at the 10, closed above the weekly 10. Just one to watch, right? I think as we get into this 300 level, I think you can take a stab at it. Let's take a look at another name let's see, CRM, approaching supply. So not as strong as now, but PPO reset to 0. Posture looks great. I could definitely see a big cup and handle. When this type of acceleration happens, you do get a move or a challenge of all-time high. So another name you can buy the dip. A lot of these names are tech. There's only a couple small cap and on the list, but a lot of these are tech. Amazon. See that? I love this, right? So close at $31.99. The low was 32.10. So it was essentially a gap and go all week. Close it high on week, recapture EMA 5, recapture SMA 40. If they keep this momentum going, they're going to challenge SMA 10 up here at 34.50. I do like this one a lot. We got the PPO cross after setting another low. So this is just exactly what we've had: a lower low in momentum with a higher low in price, lower low in momentum, higher low in price. That's when they've bottomed. So that's what we have in Amazon. I love it. I am long Amazon. Twitter, another one I'm watching. This one could hit 61.25, could hit the 200, could hit 58.42, may have to break 61.01, maybe not. It's done a 50% retrace of the move. Maybe not. Let's check this one again here. Yeah, we've done a 50% move. Yep, this blue line. So yeah, we've satisfied 50%. Maybe she needs the 618, maybe not. We'll see. Either way, I think this one is ready to roll again. Took a breather. Has this beautiful inverse head and shoulders. Get above 73, get above 74, the former all-time high. You're good to go. Get below 59 and 74, get below the weekly SMA 40, then it's highly probable she's coming back to $54. Weekly PPO bearish cross, but putting in a higher low here in momentum could be what you need for wave 2. That would spark, at least. This is where I think you have a problem with Twitter. Tag this line. Until she tags this line, buy the dip, especially if she's above the blue line. EMPH, PPO bearish cross, putting in a higher low. ABC looks good to me. I love this name. PPO curling up, histogram showing, waning momentum. Has to capture the 40. But again, you can see how the moving averages are getting really close to each other. At this point, they were really far away. So this is what happens with corrections on the weekly time frame, the daily chart. digests into the point where it looks like there's no trend at all. And if you look at all the moving averages, they're all going sideways. Yeah, so I like this one a lot. Okta kind of played out perfectly. So this is more of a trade review. We definitely had the buy signal right here on the 23rd. We had aggressive entries at 229, 263. Looks great. Still in a triangle, but looks like she's breaking out and is likely going to go test 270. So Twilio looking like a 1-2, same thing that you're seeing here. The PPO curl back down to put in a higher low in momentum before she can accelerate higher, just like you had back here, and then she takes off. So that's what we're looking for. This name looks very, very good, very strong. At the 200, bullish PPO just crossed. People think there's not a lot of opportunity out there right now. Everything's expensive. This is a brand new setup. This looks amazing. You're right at risk. You're right at the 200. I mean, I can't think of a better way to design a trade for a newer trader. Look, you enter this trade. You can market buy on Monday. Use SMA 10, the orange line. Use the yellow line to manage your risk. If we close below the 200, exit the trade. Close below the orange line, exit the trade. But you're at risk. In an uptrend when you just had the daily PPO cross. So you've got everything you need. This monthly could certainly head to the 20 though, and it would still be a buy. I mean, so all these things are in monthly uptrends. All the names that I'm giving you, a couple other fresh ones that are kind of new, like Ford, for example, looks very interesting. Captured, PPO cross here, captured the 10-20 after giving it up. On the weekly, coming into the blue line, the 40. We'll see what happens here. Might need to come into 1168. In extreme weakness, but is one to watch. Crowd is just an absolute monster. PPO bullish cross on the weekly, putting in that divergence you see all the time. Is this, your ABC? Did we hit it? Is there any upside left? I definitely think there's upside left. I think this trend is super sustainable, and you just had a bunch of money come in. I think at this point, pullbacks into the 10, EMA 5, SMA 20 are all for buying. But, this name is likely going to run into 330, somewhere like that, before she pulls back again. But, this is an ascending channel. And so she's likely to just do something like this over time. And so if you trade the waves, buy the dips, sell the rallies, you'll likely win more than you lose. That's why we buy stocks in uptrends. Another one that I'll share with you before we wrap up, Apple. Apple's in a bull flag. Beautiful setup. PPO back here to the 0. May go a little bit lower. But again, higher lows, higher highs. Looks excellent. The weekly chart is long. We got long here. 130, still long. Bull flag. Let it work. Let the trend work. Targets 183. At minimum, 183. Could go way higher. Could be an NVIDIA-like thing. To me, this looks just like NVIDIA, right? And this was a triangle. NVIDIA was an ABC flat. So yeah, that wraps up all the setups I had for this week. I mean, I guess got to talk about Airbnb. Started to break out, but this big upper wick, I don't like that upper wick. Not the best close to the week. Could certainly be an ABC up. 158 is the supply zone that she has to get above. My stop for this trade, really is 146. I'd love to see her hold SMA 10 and SMA 20. The PPO on the daily is showing you the divergence. We're now in the angle of attack that you need to be in to keep this going. This, you see how that's different than this? See how steep that is? That's not what we have here, right? What we have here is a much more sustainable angle of attack. So yeah, this could definitely go, but it could also fail. It could easily fail here. There's a lot of money that just came flying in. And if they trap these buyers, if they give up POC, if they give up 147, 148, if that goes, then this could be in trouble. But again, the higher low right now is on the weekly, and that's why all the volume came in, right? Low, high, higher low, higher high. So you do have a trend change. And you have to see how far it'll go. I think the logical place to expect this to pull back would be 170 to 186. But again, on the daily chart, the logical place was also right here, this low, 161.90. And that's exactly where you found trapped longs. Anyone who bought up here would happy to get out, for a small loss when price came back in. So again, what you want to look out for is this an ABC, or are we looking at a brand new impulse wave, right? Wave 3 of 3. So you would expect this to be the strongest. At minimum 1618, so $1.75. Best case scenario would be like 202 to 250 for the wave 3 high, then a pullback again, and then one more loading of the gun. So that would be like the grand slam home run of a trade. At this point, it's been a nice trade, but what you don't want to see happen is price to come back into this congested area and for her to get trapped below. Because there's a lot of traders here, and you want to see those traders hold or have conviction to add. And they're not going to have conviction to add if there's no trend. And to me, this trend looks brand new, right? The 5's above, the 10's rising, the 20's rising, the 40's on the bottom. We got to get the 40, the 10, and the 20 above the 100 to have the proper posture. So she's not ready yet. But one thing that is very, very positive is that the PPO is accelerating rather quickly on the weekly, and the histogram showing you the highest reading and momentum she's had since since she had enough data to start recording it. All right, well, that wraps it up. I hope you guys have a great weekend. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, like the video, check us out on Twitter, and my DMs are open. See you.